The views and comments expressed on the following radio program by its hosts and their guests do not necessarily reflect the views of RMCOnAir.com or its affiliates. Listener discretion is advised.
Ladies and gentlemen, Zometheus Rising, Zoe Williams back again for another installment of the Zoe What Morning Show. Another full house, two incredible topics, a bunch of great guests, and it's about to be on and cracking. If you want to participate, the number to dial is 323-965-1600. The first topic that we're going to get into, I'm just telling you what the topic is before we get into it, is why black folk don't go to therapy. A lot of black people are very skeptical of the psychiatrist, shrinks, psychologist, therapist. Maybe we feel like we have enough support at home. We don't need any extra. I don't know why we don't go, but I have an idea. We'll be talking about it after I introduce all my guests. And it's a house full. Once again, 323-965-1600 is the number to participate in. We need you to do this. Why blacks won't go to therapy. Before I do this, let me introduce the big homie who's in the building again. 2013 has been exceptional for this young man. He has made it to the show on time. On time means before the show actually starts for preparation. He's done that all 2013. I cannot believe it. Without further ado, Jeff Breezy in the building.
What's going on, man? Believe it.
Jeff, I'm proud of you, man. What's happening?
Well, hey, the future is now. Come up here. You can see the future from where I'm at.
I love it.
That whole, yeah.
All right. I love it. I love it.
I'm no longer sabotaging Jeff Brown. That's what it is.
Man, I appreciate it. I appreciate the conviction.
I'm leaning into this mic. Can we do that? Can we do this? Is that better for everybody?
Yes. Right. Okay. There you go. And also back from an hiatus. I think he had some work to do. Of course, most people have work outside of this job. It's good to have him back. Author of Real Influence: Persuade Without Pushing, Gain Without Giving In. Dr. Mark Goulston. Here's a look at that book as well. Doc, welcome back, man. How you been?
I've been great. I missed the show. I missed being on it. Missed being ignored. I'm glad to be back.
Wow, Fonzie, we ignore you?
I am 1 inch taller than the Fonz. I want to tell you that.
I find it hard to believe that there's no one in your life that ignores you, Doc.
Come on.
You got nobody else ignoring you other than us?
I think they
don't answer that. Never mind.
Oh, goddamn.
Ooh, what a tee up.
Now listen, we also have some young ladies in the audience, or not in the audience, a special guest. We're going to make room for another one, too. But let me introduce the people that are on mic right now. Back for another installment. We love her energy. We love her vibe, her information, her insight. Kabibi Springs has returned. Hi.
Hello. Thanks for having me back.
Welcome back. Are you ready to tackle this topic?
Let's do it.
I mean, do you run into like psychological issues at work and
time.
And do you find that black people just, especially your black people that you coach, maybe, that they just find therapy and all of that a problem?
We definitely are skeptical as a cultural people of the therapy, but there's reasons behind that.
I'd like to know your reasons why.
Yes.
And again, the beige, mocha. Mocha's a nice term. Yeah, mocha. A lot of people have called her the mocha avatar. She's not blue. but she's mocha.
Well, Miss Thing.
I'm just saying, a lot of people were talking about just how beautiful Miss Margot Hudson. She returns to the Zoe What Morning Show. Welcome back, Margot.
Good morning, Zoe, and everybody listening.
Everybody really, really just love. I guess we got a lot of views thousands of views from last week's show because you're so beautiful. I thought it was because you had a lot of beautiful things to say.
Well, that's why I hope that that's the reason, but I'm sure it's a combination. I don't mind, though.
You don't mind the combo piece?
I don't mind being admired for both.
Two pieces and a
biscuit. As long as you
biscuit?
don't ignore the other part. The other part is very important, the most important, perhaps.
Yeah, somebody reached out to me. I think his name is Edwin. He said he will be calling today.
Okay.
He says he's 6'5".
Oh.
I forgot how much he weighs. I don't really pay attention that way. But he was like, that's my wife, Zoe. I said, well, hey, call in and talk to her. Maybe you can propose today. You might get a proposal.
Well, let's see.
Well, I'm actually calling Edwin
single,
out now.
so-
Edwin, if you don't put your... Hey.
Okay, damn tall dudes. Damn tall dudes. Okay.
Now, this is somebody that's 5 foot nothing.
I'm 5'8". I'm 5'8".
Tell the truth.
Let me tell you something.
In
When
Air
you
Maxes?
When you see a dude, no, I don't lie. I don't lie by my inches. If I was 5'6", I'd say it. Hell, if you see a short dude with a woman this tall, you know what that means? He got his shit together. Okay.
Or he could be
Amen.
packing a billy club.
That's it. He could have a leather kickstand in his pants. But that's not what I'm getting at. What I'm getting at is when a short dude got a tall woman, I see you later, baby. That's that shit right there. That's that. Nobody damn Edwin in his height. I
Right.
don't give a damn about that.
You bend over, I'll use this step ladder.
Whatever. I'm telling you, the most impressive dude in the NBA, Nate Robinson. Nate Robinson. Why? Because if your 6'9" ass is off your game, you can make his highlight reel. You can,
That's true.
yeah. Shout out to the short cats.
Yay
All
for the
right, everybody.
shorties.
And yay for the tall women out there. Listen, now everybody, you have to know that I am the love and relationship editor at beautycomeforth.com. You can go read my article right now, Let Love In. There's a lot of people that are blocking love and they don't even realize it. And a lot of these things that we're going to talk about today are the reasoning behind why a lot of people have a lot of blocks, a lot of emotional issues and things that have happened to them that are keeping them from really making a connection with people.
Okay.
So, you
We're
know,
about to have
hey,
fun.
And also I have a YouTube channel. I'm slowly getting it going, but it's Destination Love Life 2, and that's the name of my company. So watch out, everybody. I have a show. All kind of good stuff is going to be going on.
And there it is. The commercial break has just ended. Now let's move back into the introductions. Hey, I can't knock your hustle, you know. And I have a line of
I might not get a
T-shirts
chance to
coming in. Indeed.
Might not get a chance to see it.
Right. It might not. It gets crazy on here.
Yes.
And I want to
Destination Love
introduce
Life
this
2.
guy right here.
That's right.
This guy right here is a legend. Every hood DVD that has ever been produced has at least 30 seconds of this dude in it. You know, I'm very, very pleased to have this brother. In my opinion, he paved the way for a lot of people that's getting it on right now. Young cats, young comics can learn a lot from this guy. He's here to talk about something really incredible. Of course, he brought his producer along. I'm going to introduce legendary comedian AJ Johnson
Give it up.
in the building.
Give it up.
What's happening, man? How you doing out there? How y'all doing?
Oh man, we good, man. I just loved your role as Easy E in Dre Day.
Sleazy easy.
That was excellent.
Yeah, thank you, man. I'm with Jeff though. I don't like tall dudes anyway. I'm short dudes taking over.
Oh Jesus.
We taking over.
That's
you
it.
see me with a tall girl like that, I won the lotto.
How tall are you again, Margo?
I'm 6'2" tall.
And then
without heels. People always say, is that with heels? I'm like, no, why would I add heels on?
and then with heels.
it could be anywhere from
8, 9.
5, you know. It
Well,
just
you know we're all the
depends.
same size when we're laying down. So.
Exactly.
That's what they
You
say,
can
but
keep on your
no,
heels.
that's not really true, though. I
It's
don't know.
not? Well-
You know, it depends on the man. I
Well,
say
let's
a man's height is really on the inside. So that's when people have to ask me if are they tall enough to date me. Then the answer is no. If you have to
Quote of the
ask-
day. Wow. Quote of the day.
Ooh, get your pimping up.
No.
She.
Okay? Go in the bathroom and polish off your self-esteem.
And Patricia, I have to introduce
And grow.
Patricia. Patricia, really quickly. Talk to me. I met Patricia a few years back with Rodney Perry, and she was doing a television show for Rodney Perry. We actually filmed that at Cal State LA.
That's right.
Right?
That's right.
And me, Kevin Hart, Rodney Perry, Niecy Nash, Terry J. It was a cold little get down. And I'm glad you guys included me in that group. Hey, it's good to see you again. Thanks for bringing in AJ. Are you ready to tackle this topic?
Yes, yes.
But before we
Thank
do,
you for
what is it?
having me.
What is the name of the project that you and AJ are working on right now?
AJ and I are working on a feature film, my first feature film called Crazy Bitter Men. So you see that topic, that title goes right along with your topics for today because there are a lot of crazy, bitter folks out there.
Crazy Bitter Men?
Yeah.
And they are
I don't know.
in denial.
I don't know, but we will challenge that notion. Yes, we will. And also in the background, she'll be on in a little bit, crazy ass hood ratchet relationship guru 6 is in the building. So we gonna have a damn ball up in here. Now let's get to it.
Therapy with popping gum in it.
I'm gonna go right to the doctor right now. Why do black people fear psychiatrists? Why do we not want to go to the shrink? Doc, I know you know this. I'm sure you've studied some of the research out there. Why is it that black people have somewhat, I'd say, an abhorrence to therapy? Go deeper.
They're not the only ones who can't stand therapists. A lot of professionals can't stand therapists. I think part of it is the fear that we can read their minds. And I think the fear is that we will see that they're afraid underneath it all. And when you're afraid underneath it all and you don't trust anyone, including yourself, to handle it, you don't want anyone poking around into that. And yet, unless you can say, and what happens is something I wrote about in Just Listen is if you can stay focused on people and realize that that's going on underneath, and you just keep saying to people, not in an angry way, but say more, or what's really going on, and you say it in just the right tone. You say that question 5 times. They might get angry at you. You could say, yeah, I know you're angry. I know you think I'm stupid. I know you think this is a waste of money. But what's really going on? What people will reach a point, and then they'll lean forward. Not that there's anyone else in the room. And they'll say, I think I'm crazy. I mean, and they say it not in a bad way. They say, I think I'm crazy and nothing can be done about it. Or I think no matter what I do, I'm just going to end up unhappy. I mean, and I don't want to think about it because if I just think no matter what I do, I'm going to end up unhappy, I'm going to stop doing anything, and I'm just afraid of that. And I don't want to. And not only don't I want anyone else to know it, I don't want to know that. So I think it's not just black people. I think a lot of people are afraid to have anyone know what's going on inside, but that is the only thing that will heal them.
Wow.
Can I interject?
Yes.
I have a serious topic. Like when I was in college, there are a lot of students under stress, under pressures. A lot of the Asian communities, their family want them to be nurses and doctors, and they were afraid to tell their parents that they want to be a singer or a dancer, And so the instructor from time to time would say, we have counselors down in the health center. Well, the thing about it is they're not afraid to go. The thing is they don't want that on their records because, that has to be documented. And so now when you go fill out applications at jobs, wherever you go, they ask you, have you ever been, to see a doctor or, have you ever been this or that? And it's technically on your record.
I think on the surface, this is the same in the military. If I go to a shrink, I'm going to be seen as a wacko, and no one's going to respect me. And even though they say we want to help you, you know the game and I know the game. But really, I think underneath it all, what people are really afraid of is way down deep that there is something wrong with them that can't be fixed. And so and why bring up something that it's not conscious. But one of the things that drags people away from being happy is they have a kind of, and we all struggle with that. There's an inner feeling that we could feel discouraged and we'll get stuck there.
Wow.
And so I agree with what you're saying superficially. I don't want this on my record.
Right.
But if you push what's really going on.
But see, that's the whole thing of it. We want to tell someone who we think have the answer. But
the magic bullet.
I come to you and say, lay on your couch, oh, doctor, my dad did this when I was a child. My mother is a little crazy, and I'm trying to break a generational curse and blah, blah, blah. Then I go run for an office. they're going to come find you and say, "Oh, Patricia Tone is crazy."
That is a great point, though.
She laid on the couch
Yeah.
and she have issues.
Right, that's a good point. Kabibi, talk to me.
Well, I think that, nowadays the concept or the perception of therapy is changing for people. I think that especially maybe it's Los Angeles, we're a lot more open and in tune with our emotional selves, but it's almost a badge of honor to say, I'm going to my therapist.
I'm going to my therapist. It's a sign of social,
Yeah,
that
like
I've
on
done
yourself.
it. Yeah.
But it is a courageous move, and I think that is it's not just Black people, but getting to know yourself is it's a scary thing. I've gone through therapy myself. I think it's important that if you're going to coach other people that you have that experience on
Right.
your own. And that was the
Thanks,
biggest
Mark.
fear is are you going to break something deep down in there that I'm not going to be able to put back together
Right.
by myself or with you? That's a scary thought.
But I what I don't want us to do is marginalize the fact that, of course, it's not just Black people, but let's not act like there isn't a particular phobia in the Black community where people,
Yeah.
we not like, Jeff, go deep.
Okay. Couple things. One, y'all remember when Black folks had one word for every problem?
Go deep.
Crazy.
You crazy.
What happened to good old fashioned crazy? That nigga crazy. He crazy. We didn't care why. We didn't care manic depressive, bipolar.
Well, there's
That's
a
new
there's
shit.
a neurosis here that
Yeah, we didn't have none of that. If you
this
fit
nigga
it in, we put
crazy.
you in the crazy bucket. Okay? So we didn't want to deal with that. The reason I don't go to therapy is honestly, I'm deathly afraid that there is an underlying reason behind why I love cars. I love old cars.
Okay.
What if I find out it is because I don't think that I deserve new shit? So
Oh,
now,
wow.
I got a 67 Datsun Roadster that I'm waiting to put together. I want a 56 Ford truck. Now I don't want none of that shit. Now I just want a Prius. I don't want that.
Wow. So listen, this is what we're going to do. We're going to take a quick break. When we come back, we're going to get Margot Hudson and my opinion on why I think Black people don't go to therapy. You can't miss this. This is about to be crazy. And when we come back, we're going to take our caller, Jay Nasty, as well. We'll be back at 2.2 Zoe Up Morning Show. Why Blacks won't go to therapy. Ladies and gentlemen, Zoe What Morning Show back in the building.
Yes, sir.
And if you're just tuning in, let me tell you what's cracking. We talking about why Black folk won't go to therapy. We have a great, august roundtable of panelists here. AJ Johnson in the building.
Also known as
What's
Easy.
up? I know why they won't go too.
Why?
Because they grew up with Black parents, and their parents done told them they crazy all their life. So
Wow.
they don't fear the doctor; they fear their bill.
They fear the bill.
Yeah, they don't want to pay.
Do you think money has a major issue in terms of, that's why I said maybe when people say, oh yes, I'm going to see my therapist, maybe that's a bad, like you said, a badge of honor, but it might be a badge of economic honor. Like, I can afford that. My life is in order.
Crazy nowadays is good, because just like she was, they pay you to be crazy.
How?
SSI.
Oh, Jesus. You talk really? Social Security?
And you got to be crazy to get it.
Wow.
Really?
Really. My brother's on it.
Damn, so there's a hustle.
My brother's on it, and he's crazy.
Okay, we need to talk about that off the air.
Right. He done revealed the whole get down.
Oh, no. I know his brother.
What? Another paycheck? A check?
Yeah.
So maybe he isn't crazy at all. Maybe that's just the hustle.
I got 46 checks coming to the house and 28 names. Yes. We need to talk.
Well, let me give you my breakdown. No, let me ask Margot. Margot,
Okay.
can you please give us your breakdown of why black people don't go to therapy?
Okay, well, I believe that a lot of times black people don't go to therapy. I mean, I think we have a lot of rigid, kind of rules and guidelines in the black community as far as, we don't go outside our family for with our problems, and, there's a little bit of a shame involved. And like a lot of people said earlier, as far as people, nobody
This is what I want.
we don't want to be looked at as crazy, so we rather not go deep. But as far as myself, I haven't actually had actual therapy. I've had some interaction with therapists. But
peripheral
let me just tell you. Let me tell you about this. This is
How
something.
does that happen?
When you say go deep, no, listen, no. because I
Here
talk
come
to
the
people.
crazy.
No. Listen,
Psychic therapy.
no. This is a
Bobo came over and put my knee up on the couch. Woo! I felt so much better after that.
My therapist got a crystal
I
ball.
don't understand you like
See,
that.
I'm all you're crazy.
A massage therapist.
A massage therapist?
A massage therapist. Actually, my massage therapist. I'm late for my massage therapy appointment.
Wow.
Want that happy ending.
Listen,
Let me get in there and reach your problem. Yeah, that's it right there.
that solves some problems.
Okay, come on, let her.
But yes.
talk
So
about
this is the thing. So basically, I'm an advocate for being responsible for our health care. If you don't have the ability to look after yourself emotionally and psychologically, and things become overwhelming, then you know what? We have to consider that there's somebody outside of us that might be able to help us. And I think that a lot of times in the black community, a lot of black people don't believe that. They're not open to what therapy can do, and they're not a lot of times they're not even aware of what therapy can actually help them to do and
So you're
achieve in their
saying
lives.
the black community,
Yes.
in essence,
Yes.
is broken.
Not everybody, but I think that
But I'm just saying
as a whole, we have some issues.
as a whole,
and they reach
so let me
back. We
set
have
it
to
up
reach
for you.
back also genetically as part of that as well.
Let me set it up.
Yes, okay.
We're broken,
Yes,
but we only trust our own broken ways.
a lot of times, yes.
Wow.
Yes.
And you have to remember that black
'Cause it's
people
comfortable.
were told to pray their way through the craziness.
You can pray your way out of gay.
Our therapy.
That's
is-
Donnie McClurkin.
Okay.
Yeah, our
Oh, my God.
I'm saying
Our
he
so-
fell down and he got
Back
up.
up. Got up on the wrong side.
Okay, here.
I hate that song. I hate that song. I love Donnie McClurkin. Shout out to Donnie. I love you, but I hate that song because it is the fail-safe backslider track. Okay? Oh, do you talk, oh, Jesus, oh, should have come in the Chevy. Oh, should have come in the Cadillac. Hallelujah, thank you, Jesus. Hey, ain't you screwing the pastors?
We fall down,
Every time they fuck up, we fall down.
but we get up.
Everything. I hate that song.
That's the black man's therapy, the
And see-
Bible,
and see-
and prayer.
And it's not realistic, because if you need healing, you can't expect that somebody's going to bring it and just set it on your porch. You have to do the work, and that's where what I'm talking about, responsibility.
The black avatar.
I
yes.
like to do work. You know what I mean? You got to be able to look at yourself. You got to be able to face your problems and be able to actually look at it for what it is and accept what you're seeing, and actually before you can make any changes. And I think that awareness is missing, and a lot of people are using a lot of crutches: relationships, sex, drugs, internet, whatever it is,
Entertainment.
Facebook, any kind of entertainment to avoid the real issues that are going on. And I think that it's time for us to really get self-help books. You know, go to lectures, go to colleges where there are people doing lectures about certain types of psychological issues. But we all need therapy.
They didn't even want to go to high school. What makes you think I'm going to go to college?
Well, you know what? It depends on how dedicated you are to your growth and your progress and self-development. I think that needs to become more important than shining up your rims. People take better care of their cars than they do their own self.
Right.
That's not good.
But see, let me just say this though, Margot. Yes. They may know how to take care of their car better than they know how to take care of themselves.
That's where therapists come in.
So let's go to
they teach us better ways to
shining those rims is a form of therapy. They're into their own mind. Their mind is free, and they're excited.
That's a great point.
About
Okay, hold on, Jeff.
You know what I'm saying.
Jeff, hold on. Hold on. I'm going. Jeff, hold on. I'm going to the doctor. Write it.
All right.
Write it.
Okay. I ain't got to write that one. I got that one on deck. That's right there.
Just give it to her then. Give it to her. Just go ahead.
You have got okay. I love cars. I know cars. Some of the craziest niggas I know. Okay, I know dudes that are totally unhinged. Shout out to Way of Life in Pasadena.
Way of Life!
I do their Christmas party every year.
Hurry up, Jeff.
All of them niggas, okay? All of them is on their second strike. All of them. You got to be kidding me that rubbing on your rims is therapy.
Hey,
you got the
rolling on 20s down Crenshaw is a form of...
it might be.
When them rims catch somebody,
this is what I want to do. I want to go to the doctor. The doctor had a quick point, and then we're going to the caller.
Yeah, usually I do the ignorant white question. This is going to be the ignored white statement.
Let's hear it.
There's a difference between therapy and counseling, and a lot of people don't know the difference. So since nobody's going to do either, let me tell you what the difference is. Therapy, you go in to get your personality stabilized so you don't take everything in life so personal and act like a victim and don't listen to anyone. And when you get that stabilized, now sometimes you can get that stabilized by venting and talking to your family, but until you get yourself to a place where you don't take everything that everyone says or does personally, which means you don't listen to nothing, then you can't accept counseling, which can help you then take charge of your life, but they are not the same.
See, that's a great point. Now let me do this because I didn't get my turn, and you guys, I don't like it. Let me throw it to you.
Go ahead, Butter Knuckles.
I don't like it.
Go deep.
I don't know if I don't know how I feel.
Butter Knuckles.
That made me feel a certain way. Like, what?
That's the light skinned fist.
All of a sudden, he smelled popcorn.
Right, that turned my whole little situation.
Butter Knuckles.
That's it.
I'm gonna say, let me throw this out here. I think
if it's a butter, mine must be.
Let me do this. Yeah, you might be powdered knuckles, but let me just do this. This is what I think. How many of you guys, and I know this is gonna start off weird, but believe me, it's gonna connect. How many of you guys know somebody named Tamara?
Tamara Goins.
Mm-hmm.
Right?
From New York.
My cousin.
I believe that black people have a spiritual cellular memory that goes back eons.
That's right.
Because I don't know how a people, not all the blacks here were, taken from Africa. We know there were some black people that was already
indigenous
here.
people, yes.
Right?
Sovereign. Free.
But I know that when we see somebody, you got Davion and LaQuasia and you got all types of weird names that black people just make up, just come out the spirit. I don't know. But when you find somebody named Tamara, and then you go back and you find out that Tamara was the original name of Egypt, right? Ta, Ma, Ra. Ta is earth, Ma is water, Ra is the sun, right? Ta, Ma, Ra. And they would say Tamaray, right? So when you see a black say, I'm going to name her Tamara, that to me, that's cellular memory. Now, that's hundreds of thousands of years ago.
Why don't they call her Egypt?
You dropping it.
Because Egypt is Greek. And that's not what it was called. Egypt from the Greek word Egyptos, meaning land of burnt faces. But that wasn't the original name. That's when the colonizers came and changed it.
That's Alicia Keys' baby name, Egypt.
That's a damn shame. She just went so far back in history. It's okay.
Okay.
I want to go deeper.
What about Ethel?
But Ethel is
Eleanor. What is Eleanor?
That's Fred. That's Fred. No, but let me finish this point.
Okay. I love Cory.
In terms of black people, slavery is relatively new in our memory.
Yes.
It's not far. So I think there is a cellular memory that says psychiatrists aren't good for black people when you look at the racist roots of psychiatry. You had the father of psychiatry, Benjamin Rush, who created a term called nigritude, just the state of being black. All things black, all things
Hold on, nigritude.
nigritude. Look it up, Benjamin Rush.
I'm not gonna look it up. I'm gonna use it the way I want to use it.
Right? There was another guy who created, his name was Cartwright, Dr. Cartwright. I mean, you got to remember, Benjamin Rush was a signee on the Bill of Independence. Okay? This guy is still considered the damn, father of psychiatry. This guy created nigritude and said the only way to heal nigritude, which is really a skin disease, that's why you guys are black, akin to leprosy, and the only way to heal it is to turn niggas white. And the best way to turn niggas white is to whip them. Dr. Cartwright comes along. This is the history of psychiatry as it pertains to black people. And I think black people, even if they don't know the facts, there's still a spiritual, intuitive connectivity that says, hell nah, I'm not fucking with y'all, right?
That's right, the lack of trust. That's
Dr.
right.
Cartwright came with something called drapetomania. Drapetomania is the runaway syndrome. See, this is how you enslave a people psychologically. I am an authority. What I say is the truth. And in creating an institution around that truth, the only way you'll be seen as sane is through my validation. Right? So I think there's a spiritual repulsion, like, nah. Drapetomania, you know what that is? He has a problem running away. You know how we heal running away? We whoop his ass, and then he'll stop running away. They labeled it that. So you have to remember, there is a racial component, an oppressive component to psychiatry, and I don't think whether black people know the history or not, there's still that feeling there, that spiritual feeling. Let me go to the caller. Jay Nasty, you're on right now. Talk to us.
What's good, Zo?
What's happening, man? Welcome to the show, man.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Appreciate all what you do, man, for the community, broadcasting this shit, man. I love it.
Appreciate it, man.
I mean, I've been in the I was in the military. I got an honorable discharge last year, late last year. But
God bless you for what you do.
I was in the military for 9 years, and I was a police officer for 3 years. And any time that we fired our weapon, with in the military, it doesn't matter. You don't have to go see a shrink, none of that. Especially with the battalion that I was actually in, you don't see no shrink, none of that shit. But when I was working for the police department, we actually had, anytime we fire our weapon or anytime you make a kill, you have to go see a shrink. Any type of traumatizing or what they believe to be traumatizing, which was fucked up. And I actually got reprimanded because I didn't want to go see a shrink. It's like, what the fuck am I going to go see a shrink for? Because I had to knock a nigga noodles out because he was about to kill some kids or do this or do that.
Let me. This is a. This is a.
This is Jay Nasty.
Jay Nasty.
Jay Nasty. This is the doc, the average white folk.
I love it.
A question, because I work with the military, I work with police. From your point of view, when you had to go see a shrink if you fired your gun and they said, we want to see if it traumatized you, did it feel like what they were really saying is we want to check your judgment? Underneath, we on the surface, we really care about you, but what it really felt like, there was this ulterior motive. We want to figure out if you had good judgment when you fired that. So it feels right out of the get-go that they're not there because they care about you. They're there because they don't trust you. You think any of that applies?
To be honest with you, I mean, in a way, I actually felt that. It's like you're really questioning my judgment if I made the right call at the right time. But yet, when I'm going to my lieutenant, reporting back to my lieutenant, it's like he's saying, okay, you did a good job. Everything's good to go. Nobody lost their life except for the guy who actually had to get killed. But now you sending me to somebody else that's going to question if I should have done what I did. And it's like, for what? I don't understand the whole purpose of it. I mean, you gave me a badge, you gave me my gun, you gave me my credentials. I'm licensed to kill. So what the fuck are you questioning anything about? If you got to question anything, here's my shield, here's my gun. Take that shit back. Fuck it.
Wow.
Great point.
Well, Jay,
You know what's weird about that? Let
the doctor do it.
Because I'm just thinking about why a lot of people don't want to go to see a therapist or shrinks. I wonder how many people think as they're talking to a therapist that down deep the distrust is, well, you say you're here to help me, but I think you're here because people said I needed this, and people want you to figure out whether I'm crazy and dangerous. So don't tell me you're here to help me. I think you have this. I think you're more dedicated to society or my parents, and you're not here to help me. You're trying to figure out, whether I'm really Looney Tunes or dangerous. So don't expect me to trust you anytime soon.
Right.
You think that applies?
here's another problem.
Go ahead, Joe.
Most therapists are white.
Thanks, Jay, for the call.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, dude.
Hey, Jay,
You
thanks.
gave me
Well,
some.
no, there are a lot of black therapists.
Okay, don't make me knock a nigga noodles loose. I can't wait to say that.
I knew it. Yeah.
Yes.
I'll be getting it all wrong. Don't let me knock your spaghettis.
Dude, I can't wait. I can't wait. The next time I have to square off, I'm going to knock your noodles loose. That's just confusing. Just
Yeah, you want to go eat after that.
But no, I don't think, I really think black people have a problem as a whole trusting white people, and I really don't know why. I think that's a very big deal. I really wish that I had come up with these words earlier.
Niggertude?
And drapetomania.
Drapetomania. I'm out of here, nigga. I'm out of here, massa.
We used to just call it.
I thought that was that rapper.
I thought that was. Oh, that's funny.
Drapetomania.
I thought
That's his new album.
Drapetomania is just really is another word for punk shit.
What do you mean?
Where am I here? I hear something. Are you Are you recording the show?
No,
Okay.
No, bullshit. I just heard my voice.
you did.
So how did I hear my voice?
I hit the wrong
You got to see a shrink.
Back up.
You're hallucinating.
She might be suffering
Wait a
from
minute, wait a minute.
kleptomania.
Now we talking about you kleptomania.
done
Now,
stole
okay,
this
you
man's
got
whole
there and
get
stole
down.
the show. I'm gonna tell you something. Okay, let's talk about something. It's somebody I trust in this room. Herbie, that man saved my life. Herbie, did you hear my voice?
Yes.
Herbie heard my fucking voice. All right, getting off on the wrong goddamn foot made me come over there and knock a nigga noodles loose. Bullshit.
You just wanted to use
He just want to use it,
I'm
right?
gonna use it on my kids. God damn it, don't you make me come in there and knock somebody noodles loose.
Don't make me do it.
Don't make me do it.
So let me ask the general question to everybody here, and I want everybody to chime in one at a time, and we're going to start clockwise. What do you think is the ultimate benefit? And I'm speaking specifically for the African American community, for just maybe a family, because I see it like this: in every relationship in your life, you are a manager, right? You have to manage yourself, right? You have to manage your understanding of yourself. Then you have to manage your relation to other people in close proximity, whether it's your family. Then you have to manage your relationships with your friends. And I think a great manager always goes and adds tools, right? So I think in terms of therapy, that should be the place you go to get your tune-up and get tools from that you can then take back to your family and help manage your situation better. Now, I think the missing component is the ability to be able to see that you might need that. You see what I mean? And then, okay, once I can see it, now I can go get it and not feel ashamed about it. How do we break the shaming and, the I don't want anybody to know, and how do we break that? And what can the black community get if, say, everybody, all of our families went maybe once a year, twice a year, every 6 months, we get a checkup? I mean, you get a checkup anyway, right?
That's right.
What do you think the outcome would be if we were on that kind of path? Go ahead, Margot.
What do I think?
All the way
would be
down.
All right. Well, I do think that that African American people and all people can benefit from doing a check-in, and just basically, I think that everybody can benefit from counseling and therapy, especially, and like the doctor was saying, the difference between therapy and basically, I think that we should start doing that, and I think that it needs to become like a movement in the black community. And I think.
Do you think we would be able? Because I always say this, man, and people hate it. I'm sorry. Black people are the most unforgiving people in the world. and they don't understand a fundamental law in relationship. The people who are closest to you and love you the most are prone to hurt you more than anybody else. And that trauma is on the opposite end of forgiveness. You cannot forgive unless you are hurt. What I think happens to everybody is that in the middle of the transit from trauma to forgiveness, there's neurosis. And neurosis comes from a lack of observation. This hurt is designed to help if you learn how to manage, if you learn how to unravel and reconcile, right? We don't know that. So what we do is, and Doc, maybe you can chime in on this, what I find is we will create a pattern of coping with a neurosis just to feel better, so we don't feel the pain of the trauma. And what happens is that behavior gets concretized and it feels good, and that's where we stay.
Because it's comfortable.
That's my
point. We got to get out of our comfort zone. And I think that in order for healing to happen, like you said, Zoe, we have to be able to admit that there's a problem and actually go deeper and actually say, you know what, maybe I have some problems. You know, I keep attracting the same kind of guy.
Come
Maybe
to
there's
me.
something I
Come
need to
with
do.
me on this. I'm feeling you.
Yes.
Why not call the trauma a gift as opposed to calling it a problem?
Yes, or challenge. That's actually, I've heard some therapists that I've, friends of mine, they've used, use the word challenge because we all have challenges, and that can be a little less intimidating. But I think that I want to give this website that I found a long time ago. I've been helping people with this website. It's called goodtherapy.org, and it also has for our international listeners, there's also resources there for them. But it explains the benefits that you get from therapy. I mean, this is one of the most amazing websites that I found. It helps you to locate the best psychiatrist or psychologist therapist for you because and every therapist is not for everybody, so you do need to take interview therapists to find the right one for you. So don't get discouraged, everybody. If you do try that first one and it doesn't work out, you have to find one that works for you. And I think that it needs to become a movement.
Right.
Because if we don't deal with our problems, then it's just going to go on to the next generation and then all of this avoidance
Generational
and
curses,
all of
right,
this
Jeff?
I feel it out there because I was born and raised in church, so I know.
Oh, you got beatings.
Oh man, look here. Okay.
Got your ass whooped.
Got your ass whooped. Got your ass. Okay, got my noodles knocked pure loose. Okay. Terms like this. If I come back in here, I ain't gonna miss an ass. Okay.
I ain't gonna miss an ass.
I ain't gonna miss an ass. Okay, I would sit down, my cousins would keep with the shit, my grandmama would come back and fuck everybody up. Okay, but yeah,
everybody getting it.
Everybody. She got kung fu for the dog. Everybody. Dog got fucked up. Okay, church folks, prayer works on therapeutic problems like Advil works on a bullet wound. Okay. You gonna need some other shit.
I don't know.
Okay, you can't. I got my screensaver at home. It's a picture of the space shuttle going up, and it says science. Because you can't pray this shit into space, and that is
wow.
That's yeah.
Wow.
And this, believe me, I love the Lord. I do. I love the Lord. He heard my cry. However, you can't pray your way out of everything.
Doc,
can I say something about the prayer?
Hold
really
on,
fast?
hold on.
We gotta go
Okay,
right.
Doc.
I'm sorry. Okay, everybody. I'm going to give everybody a chance. I'm just talking.
yes, it's all right,
Hold that
beautiful.
thought.
Hold
About
it.
prayer. Okay.
Hold it.
Yeah.
We gonna come back. Doc.
I don't know if I'm going to challenge the courage of everyone in the room.
I love it.
I'm going to
This
dare.
is why he's on the show.
I'm going to dare to make this show real instead of reactive.
Woo!
Okay.
Come on.
Let's do it.
We'll go to a break, but afterwards, I want everyone to answer, and I'll go first. What do you, not someone else, how they're treating you, what do you need to get better at to either be more successful or happier? I'll start off. I wrote a book on Just Listen, and since that time, I have become a terrible listener.
It's true.
It is. I talk more than I listen since I wrote the book.
Absolutely.
It is and so I got to work on that. So I'm shutting up right now. But after the break, I'm going to ask each person just what I need to get better to have a successful or happy life, and then just say why. And let's not make it a huge lecture like I'm about to do. So I'm going to shut up now. But
Yeah,
I like to challenge everyone.
You've already done that.
You could cut all your speech in half by not repeating. Like you said your question twice.
Shut up, Jeff.
I just opened your schedule up for you. You're welcome.
Kabibi.
So I just wanted to speak on, when you're seeking therapeutic advice or counseling, just know that the process of change changes everything in your life. So as soon as it's systems theory, anytime you change one element, the other elements are going to change as well. So that's the relationships in your family, the relationships you have at work. But that doesn't necessarily require everyone to be going to therapy for that change to happen. You taking responsibility, working on yourself, makes things change as well.
Right.
And on the subject of trust, I'm going to say that you don't have to go into any therapist situation or counseling situation giving full trust of your mental faculties over to someone else. I say a prayer every time I have a conversation with someone to make sure that whatever is being channeled is from the source that I expect it to come from.
Right.
So just
Amen.
know that you always have control over, what's happening in that experience.
Good
as
stuff.
well.
AJ? No.
Yep.
AJ, me, you, and Patricia gonna drop bombs when we come back from break.
Okay, cool.
We gotta take a quick break, but this is really, really good stuff. We'll be back in 2.2.
Hey, are you tired of those same old energy drinks with bad taste? Make a switch to Pitbull Energy Drink with a guaranteed no aftertaste. Pitbull offers more energy with ginseng and vitamins B6 and B12. With a ginger ale lemon lime flavor, Pitbull meets the consumer's demand for better tasting and healthier energy products with a guaranteed no aftertaste. Make a switch to Pitbull Energy Drink. Pitbull offers more energy with ginseng and vitamins B6 and B12. With a ginger ale lemon lime flavor, Pitbull meets the consumer's demand for better tasting and healthier energy products. For more information on Pitbull energy drinks, bars, and mixes, visit their website at hiphopbev.com. That's hiphopbev.com. Online orders available at hiphopbev.com.
Ladies and gentlemen, Zometheus Rising. This is a very informative show. I like to be on the edge, man. I like to talk about things that we don't talk about, we don't really have concrete answers for. And I think the doc brought up a really great point. And I would like for you to call 323-965-1600. Jeff, they can hear you. And I'm just saying.
I don't give a damn.
It's obvious. He over
My
here.
wife listens to the show. Hey, baby.
Hey, no pitch and woo on the job. Okay?
Funny.
Jangling? Shit.
Jangling.
Now, the doc had a great point going into break, and I want the doc to ask AJ that question, re-ask that question, and then I'll answer after AJ. Doc, what's the question?
Well, something I got to say, because
Go ahead, Doc.
I quit doing therapy because I needed to get people better, and therapy wasn't doing it.
So go deeper into that, Doc.
Well, no,
Please.
what happened is now when I meet someone, it's very simple, and I'm going to ask all you this. get people to calm down a little bit, and I say, what do you need to get better at to have a better life? Why that? And are you committed to starting now? And what happened is all my therapy patients went away because they couldn't handle those questions.
Wow.
So now when I meet someone, I say, okay, no, just take a pause. So everyone here, what do you need to get better at? Why that? And what's the first step to actually doing it instead of just talking?
Doc, would you say that the black community has a concretized, prevailing victimhood consciousness? And if so, do you think that victimhood consciousness keeps them imprisoned within their own problems?
I think they have some of that, but you said something. Black people don't trust white people.
We don't.
White people don't trust white people.
I know you guys are like wolves amongst yourselves.
Yeah, no,
eating
really.
each other up.
Yeah. But I'd like
and
to
throw some nigga meat in there. It's all good.
But let's
Only a matter of time.
That's a bonus.
Look, I'm gonna hold your feet to the fire. So okay. Zoe, then Jeff, answer that question. What do you need to get better at to have a better life?
AJ. We're going to go to AJ.
Like I said, AJ. AJ, you go first.
Like I said.
Well, I think I need my attitude towards people. And I need to humble myself to get successful.
AJ saying he's an asshole and he's
sabotaged
his career.
An asshole. Yes, I am. But I need to humble myself.
Not nearly as much as you used to be.
I know it, man. That's because I'm old now.
So why that?
Sphincter got tighter.
How does it cost you? Quickly, how does it cost you not doing it?
A whole lot, man. Not going to jail for one cost me that.
Wow.
And not being where I want to be at. Should be at, but
should be.
Wow.
Yeah,
that's a great point.
Just like in our movie Crazy Bitter Men at www.stonetoneNtertainment.com.
Stone Tone, what's up, cuz?
Just say Stone Tone.
AJ is playing the lead character of this guy named JJ, and it's called Crazy Bitter Men because it's two men going through a midlife crisis. But the gist of the film is that these men are in denial about their life. They actually are therapists. Do therapy to each other, or therapists to each other in the film.
That is great. Now, what do you got to get better at?
I'm going to get better at taking care of Patricia.
Yes.
I usually take care of everybody else, but now Patricia's going to make her movie.
Everybody's mama.
I'm going to make my movie called Crazy Bitter Men, take myself to the next level, and help bring artists and talent like AJ back to the forefront. People who have natural born talent. There are a few of us out there who have natural born talent, and AJ is one of those people. And so when I saw AJ perform, I was like, AJ would be perfect as JJ. And it almost parallels his life. Going through changes, being in denial, trying to get back to happiness, and so that's what the gist of the film is
just
about.
Put the cameras in my house then.
Yeah, but that's
a reality show.
That's the thing to me about most people who need therapy. They're in denial, Yep. And one of the other characters in the movie, the guy's a 45-year-old rapper. How many of those people do we know? Dude, you are not going to be a rapper at 45.
But you never know.
2 Chainz.
What if he's really good?
He said 2 Chainz.
What could be anything.
2 Chainz.
Okay.
Oh
but she makes a good.
No, but what she's saying is, I'm not gonna. Let me see if I can rephrase. What you're saying is, I'm not gonna be caught up in trying to please people. I'm gonna see what I stand for, what I'm gonna stand up for, and I'm gonna stand by it. And that project is what I'm gonna do. Is that right?
Yes, I'm gonna be who God made me to be.
Right.
A filmmaker, a director.
I have a term for that. I have a term for that.
What is it?
And I just came up with it a couple of days ago.
Conquerized?
No. That's funny. That's funny. Conquerized. No. Once you can free yourself from the retribution of humans, the fear of retribution from humans, from other fucking meat sacks.
Yes.
Once you can
We're not doing shit.
It doesn't matter what they're doing. It doesn't matter what they're doing. It doesn't matter who they are. Once you free yourself from that, you are totally. It's almost the reverse of this. My ex-wife. I said, wait a minute. Nothing I do makes you happy? Well, goddammit, I'm free. I can do whatever I want to do. Because nothing makes you happy. Once you get to a point where you are free, independent of other people's thoughts.
But that's the difficult part. And part of our relationships is designed to pull us away from our parents. So when you say, that freedom, the only way we get freedom is through relationships outside of the familial one. That's how it works. So what you're doing is you're marrying into another philosophy, another idea outside of the one you were raised in.
That is so true.
And most people have a difficult time letting go of mama's illness. Mama's illness was the curriculum that raised you.
Yeah.
Wow.
And they're running away from it. My mom was always late. So I'm an avid about being on time.
Right.
30 seconds drive me effing crazy.
Like I have
Yes.
I have 3 children, and 2 of them are teenagers. And I have my godmother. She's old. Listen, my mama would have punched me in the neck if I said whoop whap whoop. Now when he say do whoop whap whoop, if you don't want to get punched in the neck by me, hey, you're not going to punch them in the neck.
I'm sorry, there'll be no neck punching.
Do you understand? So I'm just saying.
There will
I'm
be
just
no
saying.
blows to the throat.
I'm just saying, you got a lot of broken blacks, and this show is designed to talk about therapy for black people and why we don't do it.
So what do you-
I'm gonna answer your
Answer the
question,
question,
Doc.
sir.
I'm gonna answer your question, but I really need us to stay focused. There's so many institutions we can run to for the answer. But we don't understand that we're institutionalized because we seek the answer from them.
Yeah, exactly.
And then they end up on the street like Ezell and Friday.
Man, I'm just saying.
Are you taking a shit by the house?
Let me answer the doc. Let me answer the doc's question. Let me answer the doc's question.
You been eating corn?
Hysterical.
Hilarious.
Doc, I think for me, what I need to do is to stop being so damn controlling. And my control is because I don't trust. I got the Kobe Bryant syndrome. You bricking? Okay, I'm not passing to you. I'm just not gonna pass to you because you done bricked 7 times in a row. We down by 6. I can't fuck with you this evening. I'm gonna go do this myself. I'm that kind of person because I feel like people will take advantage of my kindness.
I'm going to pray
Right?
for you.
That's how I feel. I feel like that. That's been my experience. People take advantage of my kindness, so now I have to control things.
So what would that look like? Because one thing I'll tell you, Zoe,
You know
I
me.
love you, man.
Yeah.
You don't need to get any smarter. You are very smart.
I do need to get smarter. Sorry.
No.
no,
In the ways you're smart. I mean,
will
in the ways
never
you're
stop.
That's enough smartness, Negro.
But what
Tone it down. Tone down your mind, nigga.
I don't know how you figured out how to read, but God damn it, that's enough of that smartness.
Move that book. Remove those books from in front of him.
That nigger, shit.
You need to learn how to.
Yeah. Too much power for one nigger to have.
That goddamn book away.
God damn it.
No, go ahead, Doc. Go ahead.
Feel the plow. Name change your name to Josephus.
I'm close to giving up, but I won't.
Don't give up, man.
What's one step? One step for you. Okay, so what does it look like? I'm going to commit to letting go of some of the control. So what is that? What does one step look like? Pick it in your life. I'm going to commit to it. What is it?
I don't know what it is. Let me be honest. I don't know what it is.
Well, if you believe it's stopping you, then
I do know control is my issue, but I don't know what that one mechanism moving forward, like how to turn it off.
I think I might.
Yeah, get at me.
And I ain't and no humor.
I'm getting some fucking therapy from Jeff Brown.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's where your
All right, here
life
we
is
go.
right now, mister.
My shit is in the dumps for real.
Deep, Jeff. Go
Ooh,
deep.
that nigga on that mail.
You suffer. You suffer from the same, or I have an issue with that. If we don't have a better way, God damn it, we do it in my way. Okay, and one of the things that I had to learn is, and shout out to my wife, she put this on me. You must respect the right of ignorance of others. You got to respect the right of other people around you.
Wow.
To be ignorant. They have that right. You know me. I'm a fucking snob. There are a lot of people I don't like. All the people in my circle are smart like that bastard over there in the back. But I had to learn that there are people around you that you can learn from that have a value that you have to be able to judge outside of your own particular yardstick for yourself.
Good point. So listen, this is what we got to do. I want to thank AJ and Patricia for coming in.
Thank you for having us.
One more time, please let everybody know what the name of your project is and how you brought this crazy motherfucker back into the loop. Talk to us.
Who that nigga on that mail?
It's called Crazy Bitter Men. Go to www.stonetownentertainment.com.
And you're bringing AJ Johnson, comedian extraordinaire, back into the fold.
No, he's bringing me to my first feature film project.
Bringing each other.
Wow.
Yes, we're helping each other. We're both Aquarians.
Yes, my birthday Friday. Shout out to me.
Happy birthday. And so go to the website. We're taking donations because this is an independent film and black people have to do things for themselves.
Go to Kickstarter.
And we are. Just
are you on Kickstarter?
Go to the damn website, Jeff, and read Educated Man. And
hysterical.
It's called Crazy Bitter Man.
I'll put my help back then.
I will take my services away.
I'm about to respect your right to do what you do.
You remove my help.
Oh, that's.
Hey, once again, I want to thank you guys for coming in.
Don't digress.
So, Patricia, AJ, once again, I want to thank you guys for coming in.
In other words, get the hell out.
Yes. Goodbye. Thank you. And
man,
on
you
to
for
the next one.
Thank
What we're
you
going
for
to do?
having
Hey.
Thank you, Doc.
That nigga said, let me put my shit back there.
All right. So, listen, I want to take a quick break. And when I come back, I'm going to introduce some more guests. And we're going to move on to our next topic, which is another heater, another heavy topic. And we're going to dive in with both feet to the deep end. It's going to be crazy.
A heater.
All right. I'll be back in 2.2. Zo What Morning Show, 323-965-1600. Deuces. Ladies and gentlemen, Zometheus Rising back in the building with yet another heater, another topic. This topic is going to be, this is touchy. A lot of females they don't want to answer my questions. Text ZO to 90210. And that's how you connect with me on all my social media network. And the reason why I segue to that is because I do these topics and I put out a lot of questions on my Facebook page, and I have around 4,000, close to 4,000 people on my Facebook page, and we have these immense conversations. Sometimes the doc pokes his head in every now and again and drops a little jewel or two. A lot of people go to that page and converse. And this topic, was born out of that. I did it a couple years ago, but it's called Who Rapes the Rapist? And it's us, talking about rape. It's another one of those topics, man, that a lot of people are afraid to deal with, and a lot of women, more women than have gone through it and also are afraid to discuss it. So we're going to discuss it on this show. And before I do that, I want to introduce everybody. Kabibi Springs. I want to call her just BB. But Kabibi Springs, right? What is your website? It's a wonderful topic. What is it?
LifeOnSprings.com.
Man, she's incredible. Dr. Mark Goulston refers to her as the next Oprah. And if it's coming from Dr. Mark Goulston, who has been on Oprah, right? I'm going to have to go on ahead and listen to Lord Whitey Locks.
You've been on Oprah?
Shit.
So did you get Dr. Mark Goulston? Did you get that? Because that can change your life right there. If Oprah
buy his book.
Yes, Oprah yell your name. You can get some credit on just that.
Right.
Buy a house.
I just told her, why don't you just give away a car?
Hysterical. Jeff Brown in the building, comedian extraordinaire.
What's up?
Margot Hudson. Who are you and what you do?
Hey there, my name is Margot Hudson. I am a love and relationship and wellness specialist.
And
Destination Love Life is my company, and you'll be hearing more about that as time goes on. I'm on YouTube as well.
There you go, because you got to do your commercial.
Yes.
And back in the building, ladies and gentlemen, without further ado, she got makeup on. Oh shit! Somebody go get shot today. None other than Hood Ratchet Extraordinaire Relationship Guru. Six, back in the building. What up, Six?
Hi, Zoe. How you doing?
You looking all... Did you do this for me?
Yeah.
Indeed you should. Yes, indeed you should.
Bullshit.
I'm just saying the Pharaoh needs all of his favors.
That's right.
Indeed. Now, let us continue. Wait, hold on real quickly. I didn't do this earlier today. Chuck Doe is in the building. She's been busy working, doing a lot of stuff behind the scenes. But I want to say hi to Chuck Doe. A lot of people love you, Chuck. How you doing today?
I'm well. How are you guys?
Could you tell them what you do just behind the scenes? They don't even know.
I have a new YouTube vlog going. It's at Chuck Doe. That's the channel. And then you could follow me on Twitter at Chuck Doe to just keep up with what I'm doing on the Zoe What Show and outside of the show.
Just dark and fine.
Yeah, she's awesome. She's awesome. I got questions. And then we have a caller, special guest I want the doc to deal with. I got questions. How does a woman reclaim the joy of great sex and fearless intimacy after being sexually attacked? That's kind of, that's one of them heavy ones right there. True or false? 1 out of every 6 women in America has been the victim of sexual assault. Now, let me just say, I got a question here that deals with the only thing that can heal, these types of things. Do you think unconditional forgiveness has the power to heal in totality that kind of violent, traumatic experience? Because a lot of people say the only way you can move on is to be healed. And we know rape is about taking one's power. It ain't just about the sex. It's about, I have power over you. I can dominate you. I can control you. Hold on, Margot.
I know. I'm ready.
Yeah, I see it.
She
right?
turning double Dutch
But
over here.
My question is, how can a woman reclaim that power? And that's what we want to go in right now. Doc!
Okay, you skipped a big step to get to forgiveness.
Get to me, Doc!
Write this down. Having horror heard helps heal hurt.
Wow.
Having horror heard helps heal hurt, because when you've been raped, something to your core has been violated, and you think the next time it happens, you're going to shatter and just blow to the wind. And so you don't show it to the world. You don't let yourself get close. You don't give yourself up to anyone else. But the horror is in there. But you need to get it heard by, whether it's a minister, whatever, but you've got to be able to share it and see that you don't fall apart. A lot of people don't even want to talk about the horror because they think if they remember it and they re-feel it, they're going to shatter. But if you don't do it, you're walking around with an abscess, and you can't suture an abscess. You got to drain it. And before you do that, and what will happen is you need someone who's been there, done that skill, because you're going to think you're going crazy. And really what you're doing is you're draining this old, ugly sore inside you. And you're going to need someone, because you're going to look, you say, are you sure I'm coming back? Are you sure I'm not falling apart? Are you sure I'm not fragmenting? And you need someone who knows how to guide you through that. And what will happen is you'll be able to heal. I have a saying, why cope when you can heal?
Wow, because coping is maintaining, right?
Coping is maintaining, but what happens is over time you kind of pull away. You don't want anyone to poke into it, and you end up alone and lonely, and you kind of smile on the outside, and your smile doesn't touch your eyes.
Wow.
And so you need to get that horror heard and drain that abscess. And one of the reasons you don't forgive people is because that wound hasn't healed, and if you think you're going to be re-wounded and you won't make it through it the next time, you hold on to it. So you need to get that drained first. And then I think when you feel somewhat healed, then I think you're able to forgive more. But you got to hold on to not forgiving as long as you're walking around with that big wound.
But I think avoidance of the problem, I'll give it to you. I think avoidance of the problem turns that pain into like an accessory. It's like a necklace, or it's like
it makes
a
it
bag. Worse. It just, you know what? I'm just going to carry it.
This is like people know that I'm really very much I'm not pro-war, but I'm pro-veteran, pro-soldier, and I'd like to. I wrote a book on post-traumatic stress disorder in the Dummies series, but I want to change it. I don't want it to be called that anymore, because really, what it is, what all post-traumatic thing, whether it's from rape or the war. It's what I call re-traumatization avoidance. Meaning the first time you're traumatized, it cuts you to your core, and you don't even know why you're standing, and everyone says, oh, you're doing so fine, you got over it. And you smile and you say, I got past it, I didn't get over it. And you walk around really tentative, and you start avoiding anything that could re-traumatize you, because the next time it does, you believe it will smash you open and you will never come back together again. And so you live your life trying to avoid re-traumatization, which is just natural, and that's why you need someone to walk it through. There's a friend of mine over at USC does virtual reality PTSD treatment, and what they do is they take soldiers who are really not functioning, and they put them it's a virtual reality thing. They put a helmet on them. I've been there. It's amazing. And you are there back in Iraq or Afghanistan, and you're there in a Humvee, and it looks real, and you see a kid blow up in front of you. You see the person next to you in the Humvee get shot. You smell oil smells, and you got a therapist that's guiding you through because you think you're going to lose it, and it's been very effective in getting people back.
Wow, this is incredible. Listen, we got to take some callers. I want to take Darian from Detroit last because she's my special guest. I want to take her last. Let me get these other callers off first, and then we'll go to Darian. Who's next? Caller, you're on. Richard? 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 I say it like his mama. Richard? Richard? Okay, Richard. Okay, who's next? Darian. Hello?
Hello.
Darian. Hi. Let me set you up, Darian. This is Darian Hudson, right? I spoke to her. Let me say, I met this woman on Facebook. This woman reached out to me and was like, listen, man, my boyfriend beat the crap out of me in public. Damn. And she said, I saw you on television, and I said, that dude's got some answers. Right? And that dude's got some answers. I'm going to reach out. She reached out, and I was like, okay. She was like, I need some answers. I need to know that real manhood still exists. I said, okay, here's my number. Call me. And I had been working with her from June 8th of 2012 till now. Now, this hurts me because I'm not a perfect person, and I've been on the wrong side of the fence before my damn self, So my ultimate goal in life is to rectify all of the wrongs that I have done, that I have perpetrated. So whenever there's an opportunity for me to be of service to someone, I feel like then I am at the most connected I can be with God. So I said, you know what, whatever she needs, I'm going to walk her through this process every day. Praying, sending quotes, book selections, listening, whatever. So 6 months passed. She's doing well. She's doing well. She's coming back, right? She's coming back. Then I get a tweet, right, on Twitter from her sister that says, you need to call my sister because she's in the hospital. I'm like, well, who is, I didn't even know her sister was on Twitter and following. I didn't know. So I call her, and then the girl, her mother sends me a picture of her. A family friend beat her and tried to rape her. But I am so impressed by this woman because she kicked his ass. He did not get her power. Now, she told me this, but she sent me a picture, man, and she was toe up. And I sent everybody damn near who knows me, Jeff Brown, Poetess, did you get that picture? I sent a picture to everybody who knows me. And I said, y'all better pray for this woman. Y'all reach out to her. Y'all send her a text message. Y'all do something to let her know that she is not alone. Because I felt like all my work and all the work that we did to get her back from the situation that happened with her boyfriend was ruined. When they sent me this picture now, she was, her head was like, no jokes, but her head was like, remember how Martin looked after he had to fight with Hearns? Remember that episode of Martin? He came out with the big head that was lumped. I'm not trying to be funny. I know it's inappropriate. But shit.
Yeah, especially with her on the phone, damn.
But, I just felt so bad for her. And I called Dr. Mark, and Mark gave me jewels, and Mark called her. But this woman has survived rape, and I wanted to bring her on the show to share her story and to get insight from us. Doc, this is her, man. Isn't it amazing how far she's come? She sent me some pictures of herself recently, and she's damn near back to normal. Talk to us about your ordeal, Darian.
Hi, guys.
Hey, Darian.
Hi, Darian.
Well, Zoe, you do such a great job. It's like, how do you follow that, right?
It's easy. Just start talking.
I know.
No, I'm just kidding.
It was, that wasn't a good look at all. I was very afraid, very, very beyond afraid. This man, he stripped me naked. I had just started my cycle, so he opened up my cooter and helped himself to relieve me of whatever was in the way. And he strangled me for a good, we were fighting for about 45 minutes.
Wow.
And it was, it's about, I live in Detroit. It's about 25 degrees here on that day. So he had purposely turned on the water and flooded the basement, which is, easy to do down here, and dragged me around in the water. And so when I got loose and I was able to run outside, I actually was approaching hypothermia when they found me. So there's so much about that day, that moment, that was just like, it's just, I don't even understand why I'm supposed to still be here, but there's something else going on that's way out of my control. And I'm happy that it is out of my control, because apparently the person in my situation, according to everyone around me, the doctors and the detectives and the social worker, I'm supposed to have killed myself by now because of my traumatic stress.
Wow.
I should be like already like in a state of depression beyond, medicine right now. According to them, I'm not supposed to be sitting up here just laughing and kicking in and sitting here saying I look like Elephant Man.
Now you were telling jokes while you were in the hospital, right?
Oh my goodness, yes.
Yeah, and
I didn't know what would constitute the first 48 situation, so I had told them, listen, I don't know what y'all doing, but if this is the first 48 situation, do not film me because I look it up right now, and I'm normally a diva, so you need to not film me.
Hysterical.
They were like,
She was in there telling jokes.
This is not a first 48 situation.
Listen, we have a special guest in the building, 6. Talk to us, man.
Yeah, I just want her to know that, you know what, the same thing you went through, I went through. I was drugged, I was pistol whipped, but there's one difference. I was raped by a woman.
What?
Yes. I was
Go deeper.
I was-
Well, she could.
Wow. It was, yeah. I was like 22. She was like 54. I was little. She was big, just like this OG gangster woman.
She's like, what's up with that?
No, she treated. I worked for her, managed her club, and the girls kept telling me, "Oh, she fatten you up." I didn't know what they meant by that. You know, it's like she's just fattening you up and fattening you up. You know, and then she used to look at me certain ways, but I didn't pay it no attention. You know, until one day she came. She had a boarding house, and she came into the room one day with a gun, and she slapped me and she grabbed me by my hair and she drugged me down the step. I mean, just drugged me. Then she's holding the gun and she's holding me and she's dragging me on top of the bed. She gets in the bed and lay back naked and she gonna tell me start eating her pussy. I was like, I don't know what to do. I've never done this before. You know, and she slapped me again. She's like, bitch, eat my pussy. You know, just like that. So, you know, I'm crying and stuff because I don't know what to do, you know.
And this is at gunpoint.
This is at gunpoint, you know. And then she's like, you know, bitch, eat my pussy. She's like, but I'm being honest. I was like, well, it smelled funny, you know. So she slapped me again. So when I finally, you know, went to licking and stuff, I threw up on her pussy. She whipped my ass again. I was like, well, you know, what you expect, you know? I never done this before. The shit was sour to me. You know, it had a nasty taste, but it took me a long time. It took me a long time to talk about this shit, for real. I opened up in a crowd of people one day.
6.
For real, I did. I just opened, just like I'm talking to you. I just one day I said, well, I got raped by a woman. She beat the fuck out of me. That bitch made me eat her pussy. I threw up on her pussy. And when I told everybody, they looked at me and started laughing. But when, like, y'all looking at me loud, after they stopped laughing, they looked at me like, how did you get through that? I don't know how I got through it, but, you know I have a problem now with other women because it's like I beat on women's now. Like when I get enough,
you put hands right up against.
I put hands on them.
So it's easy. It's easy. It's probably easy to surmise that you probably don't like the lesbian get down.
I think I don't, you know, because when it came, no, I can't say I don't because of one. After that, I got turned out by a gay girl. After the rape thing, like 10 years later.
Did you start liking it?
No, I didn't start liking. No, after the girl turned me out. No, I got turned out properly, the right way.
How do you properly get turned out by a girl? Go deeper.
I wasn't beat and drug and forced.
Right.
You know, I wasn't forced.
You consented.
This one, I was curious. You know, I wasn't the one. She wanted to eat me. I didn't want to eat you.
Do you think the rape situation
in
the back of your mind made you kind of curious?
No, I don't think. No,
I'm just asking.
No, because for a long time I was scared of lesbians. I was scared of women. I would get nervous around too many women, and then when they would come at me the wrong way, I would actually beat the shit out of them.
There's nothing wrong with being afraid of lesbians. There are certain lesbians I'm afraid of. Okay, you get caught wrong. You know. And lesbian whoop your ass.
But you know what?
That ain't right as a dude. That's hard. You can never ever let that down.
You know what? So for me, how embarrassed I felt about that and couldn't tell nobody, and I held that in for a long time.
Mm-hmm.
And
does it still hurt?
No, I can talk and joke about that shit now. Like I said, I vomit on her because her pussy tasted nasty. I didn't understand the taste of it or the smell. You know, I took the hits and stuff because I was trying to stay alive.
And let's keep this serious here. This is very important for people to understand that rape is not a sexual crime. It's not intercourse. Let's not get it twisted. It is a crime. It is a crime actually against humanity. But it's a crime. It's a crime. It was about control. It was about a lot of twisted things. It's not sex.
Does rape? I mean, especially in younger girls, does rape set the tone for future promiscuity? And I know men have been raped too. Some of the men who have been raped, could you call in 323-965-1600? I mean, if it happened to 6, it could happen to you.
Okay,
somebody call in.
Define male rape, because I have wanted to be thrown against the ground in the bushes by some fine broad to just.
Jeffrey Dahmer.
No, not Jeffrey Dahmer. No. I'm talking about the straight reversal. You walk into your car, you getting your keys out, and somebody like 6 come up with her little pumps.
With her gangster ass.
She run up on you with the pumps and knock you down, and you go, wait a minute, what's going on? She start ripping your pants down. I don't know that I would fight. Oh, I can't stop.
But what if she was a Bilbo Baggins built type chick?
Oh yeah, that's horrible. Okay. No, Lord, may I?
You gonna compare that?
May I be?
You can't compare that. If somebody coming and raping you, and you just
This is what I don't understand.
Right.
I want her to rape me.
Men have been
Can I
raped.
say-
Men, I'm talking about
compare
men.
that.
I don't mean men
Hold on,
being
Darren.
raped by men in the shower. I don't mean men being raped by. I mean actually having your sex taken from you. One of the things is that a man has to be aroused in some way for sex to go down in the beginning. So I don't.
But it's not sex.
But it's not sex, dude. It's a power thing. Sometimes rapists don't even have an erection. It's more about
Them being
taking
empowered.
something.
Humiliation.
You know what I mean? But let me do this. We're going to go to some callers, then I'm going to come back to the doctor. Richard, you're on the line. Talk to us.
Yes, sir. I was just wanting to chime in about the rapist by a rapist. I can't really say that people who've been raped, or I don't know where I'm going with this, but I'm a person of rape, kind of in a sense. An older woman kind of basically turned me out at a very young age, and I want to know what type of psychological, effects is it supposed to have on me? Because I feel like as an adult now, I'm more drawn towards sex than finding a woman out and this and that. And I also always have like a nasty taste in my mouth when thinking about women, but I love women.
Wow. Hey, well, let me do this. Thanks for the call. I appreciate it, Richard. We're going to give you your answer off the line.
How young?
I'm going to go to the doc real quick. How young? Go ahead.
I was 7 years old.
7. Wow.
Yeah.
So I want to go to the doc and get some information on this. But doc, isn't it two things that happens generally? And maybe you can add on to what the doctor's talking about. Some people get more promiscuous, depending on how old or whatever. They get more promiscuous, or they become asexual. They have an aversion to the sexual movement.
Okay, let me answer that. No, because sometimes when you have been dominated, you can't stand that feeling, so you go out and you try and dominate other people because you're trying to sort of get out of your system that you were so dominated. But I want to ask Darian, I want to ask Six something, because even though this show's against therapy, I've done a lot of therapy with people over the years, and a lot of
It's not
traumatized.
against therapy. What are you doing?
No, let me finish with this. I'm going to check this out with Darian and Six. But over the years, because I've seen a lot of rape victims, but I'm convinced, but you have to tell me whether it's true, I'm convinced that if you've been raped, your skin has a memory different than your mind of good touch, bad touch, and no touch.
Very good.
And what happens is you settle for no touch because you don't think good touch is possible, because the bad touch did something. And what happens is you want to get close, but sometimes you can't release to it. And that's why I think with Darian, let me check on this, but I think Zoe's calls is good touch. I think his caring, his staying there, his not abandoning you, it doesn't have to be physical touch, but I think that gave you some hope. But I just want to check with you, Darian, and you, Six, whether you think this makes any sense, what I just said.
Yes, it do make sense to me, because I get around certain people, and especially females, I get very uncomfortable when they used to touch me in certain ways, or even the way they used to look at me, I would look away. I couldn't, like you and I looking right now, I can look at you, eye contact now. Yeah. At first, I couldn't do that with another woman. I would look away. It was like I was ashamed, like you saw what happened to me. Yeah. And like when I didn't like the way women hug me, I didn't like none of that. It took me a while to get past all that, but I'm good with me now. I can laugh about it. I can talk about it, and it goes back not from just her. It goes back, and I want to tell let me tell this so a lot of females can know, because this really happens. Stop letting your kids sit on grown people's lap. Stop. That's one thing. Mine started out with a grandparent sitting me on his lap and putting his fingers between my panties and bouncing me at 3 years old.
Wow.
Okay? And I'm against that. I don't like to see kids on men's lap or boys.
And making the children hug people too. Like kiss him, hug him.
Yes.
No, don't make children do that.
That right there, when that man put his finger in my panties and shook me, everybody sitting around laughing, and he laughing and bouncing, but you got your fat finger in my pussy, and I'm only 3 years old.
Oh my God.
Okay.
So
that's what you're going to get when you have Six.
I want to try Six, Darian. So that made sense what I told you.
Yeah, it makes sense.
So let me say something else, because as I started working with these people, what I realized that they were most afraid of, they weren't necessarily afraid that someone's going to do it to them again, because they're all geared for battle.
Right.
What they really were afraid of was feeling completely safe. Because if they felt safe, they felt like the pus would drain, it wouldn't stop, it would wash them away. And inside, I remember one woman said, I'm really messed up, because if I don't feel safe, I'm never going to feel solid from the inside out. But I don't trust anyone enough to get safe. So
Right.
welcome to my life.
So are you saying to me, doctor, that they hold on to it? Because now the very thing
here's the
that
problem.
hurt them, they hold on?
No, the problem, and this is why it's tough to get through life, is it's holding on to them and holding them back. But they got to feel safe, and that's not the easiest thing. And you can go to church and you can pray, but it's not the same thing as having your skin violated.
Wow.
But until you can feel that safety, you can't really heal from the inside out. But a lot of times you feel the pain is just too deep. I just can't feel it. The coping's not so bad. Had a pretty good life. I can still laugh. Do you ever laugh from your core? I don't do anything from my core, but it's not so bad.
No, can you guys hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you,
Go on,
Darian. Go
Darian.
ahead.
You guys said so much. Doc, yeah, you're kind of, you're right, but I guess without actually, I don't know if you have to experience this to understand that there's still some part of it that doesn't, it now, it's part of an experience that's now part of who you are developing, your
It's part of your DNA. It's part of your DNA now.
It's not so much of the, of course, though is a certain level of a virtual hug, if you will, or, that hand on the shoulder saying, okay, yeah, it's all right. You can still keep moving forward, and they're not always behind you, but they're just there when you look back. And there's other people that are doing that as well for me, but there's still something there that's still taken away. From this guy, this most recent situation with this guy, from what I understand, he was prison raping me, meaning that he was not interested in the power of a man overpowering a woman. He went somewhere else in his head that I was no longer what I was to him.
Wow. You were an object.
Take from me, from however he was going to get it. He kept putting me on my stomach. The rapes that I experienced in my relationship was from my boyfriend that would threaten to leave or threaten to be with someone else if I didn't have sex with him.
Wow.
The subtle ways of stroking my face and telling me I'm beautiful, except if you don't fuck me tonight, then I will go out on that phone, that call that I just got. So holding over the relationship hostage over your head. So, yeah, there's something that can go away. The wound can heal, like, from the inside out. It's still, when you look down, there's still a scar that's telling you.
That's a great point.
Darian, something I think I said to you on the phone, and I would say this to other listeners who are in the same situation, and I'm so proud to know Zoe for his continued contact with you, but something that I said is, you got to find a group of other people who've been raped, and you're all at different levels of recovery. The reason being is anytime you talk to someone who hasn't been raped, even if they're being kind, you're thinking to yourself, what's easy for you to say, you didn't get ripped to your core. And you need to be in a group of people who have exactly that kind of pain, because when someone says, hey, this happened to me, and I'm not completely over, but I'm much better, you will believe them. That's why people have had breast cancer go to groups with other women with breast cancer. Because
You know what, Doc?
You know what?
Hold on
work.
one second,
I need a
Darian.
group. You know what, Doc? You might be
Darian.
on the verge of something too. I'm sorry to interrupt, but create a group of mixed people, because I'm only 130 pounds, and I had to say that there's two reasons why I'm not fat. It's not overweight and obese and out of shape. It's because I listened to a person who was there and came back, and a person who never got there.
Wow.
So there's something in that woman who this never even happened to. She's never even, for some reason, there's something in her decisions or her life path
That's a good point.
Didn't happen to. Then there's something in the kind of woman that I am that this happened to. So I need a group with both people because I don't want to sit around a bunch of people that are, not no offense to going to therapy or anything like that, but I don't want to sit about a bunch of people that's having a pity party on any level. I need to be around folks who are not, because I'm not going to get past it. I'm not going to go through it the right way.
You want to be with a group of people who say, we're going to fix this and get better. You're right. Stay away from the pity parties. Pity parties don't really help anyone.
Wow. Kabibi has not spoken on this, and I want to get to Kabibi. Kabibi, has somebody ever tried to get a little forceful with you?
Yes, someone has tried that before. Unfortunately, it never got that far for me. But just in preparation, I talked to some women that I know who have had that experience. And just my biggest question was, how did you regain that sense of trust with yourself? And the common denominator across them was, one, they had to forgive themselves for what happened and stop blaming, stop replaying the moment, I did something that triggered this. But to this day, even though this was years ago, and I know you can relate, there are certain things that do trigger that moment that are irrational in the present, but they're triggered from the experience that happened before, like the type of clothing that they're wearing when they leave the house on a date, just some simple statement from a man expressing a compliment about them physically. If it's something that triggers a memory, it comes off very wrong. It may not have been the intention, but
that's just the natural response that is built up. Jeff Brown.
Darian, question. I'm listening to this as a father of a daughter.
Right.
And if anything was to happen to my daughter like this, the earth would get really small for that motherfucker real fast. There would be nowhere he could hide, ever. My question is, what happened to the dude that did this to you? Did he go to jail? Is there...
Darian?
Jeff,
Yeah.
I love you so much. You're the funniest guy in the world. Thank you for saying that. And it's fathers that say that because I don't have that either. So to hear someone say that, I would totally kick someone's ass if they did this to my daughter. I love that.
Oh, no, not kick his ass. Not kick his ass.
I'm saying the world would get small.
This carbon-based life form would cease to exist.
Carbon-based.
This guy is still out there. No one can find him. Apparently, he's apparently already been a felon.
Okay.
He did time, and they can't find him. So he's very well versed with the law. Apparently, his wife is in on some aspect of this crime because she's conveniently not letting them search the house.
Okay. Question. You in Detroit, right?
Yeah, she's
I'm in Detroit. This happened just outside of Detroit in Pontiac.
Oh, okay. Well, Pontiac, good. All right. After the show, I need you to hold on. I got some friends I need you to call right over there and take care of this kind of thing.
Jeff Brown.
Yeah,
hold
I know some
on
cats
with us, Darian. Hold on with us, Darian. Margot?
Yes.
Margot has something to say.
Yes. Well, I wanted to say that, first of all, a lot of women, I wanted to read a couple statistics, but a lot of women might not be aware of this, but most women are actually raped by people that they know, acquaintances.
That they know, right. Not strangers.
They're family members, they're friends of the family, boyfriends,
husbands.
And husbands even. And this also goes back to something that used to happen way back in the day when women were actually property. And I heard, Darian, you say something earlier about, you weren't a thing at that point. It's like he blinked out and you weren't a person anymore. Well, there's a lot of objectifying. People talk about objectification of women all the time in our culture, but the thing about it is its roots are deep. So I'm about to go deeper. So listen, if you go back, you'll find out that women until 1993, I think in 1993, all of the states, rape became in a marriage, rape was actually something that existed and it became part of the law. But because before that, women were the property of a man,
right,
all the time,
right,
period. And then let's not even get into slaves and women, and black women didn't even have, the slave women didn't even have rights back in the day. So when they got raped, the master had exclusive rights over their bodies and whatever they wanted to do with them. Wow. So this is still being perpetuated through our society, through commercials, objectification of women. Women are actually objects for men's gratification. And I think that a lot of times women take responsibility, and the responsibility is put on us to hold a relationship together, to give you sex, or he's going to go somewhere else. And I think that this is wrong thinking. That's wrong thinking.
That's a great point, because there are a certain amount of numbers of rape allegations that are considered fraudulent.
Yes, and exactly, and they're considered fraudulent for that reason because, and why is it that we have to persecute the person has been raped? You're going to take them and make them prove this before the person's psychological health or their physical health is even looked after. You got these people poking and prodding because we got to prove that you were raped, prove that you didn't have consensual sex. We got to prove, and that's victimization all over again.
That happens in a court setting, and they're now starting to change that. But you have to understand
because rape is political.
The nature of court or the nature of law is it's not about win-win. It's about win-loss. So when you bring in a defendant, his lawyer is there for him to win.
Right.
You bring in a plaintiff, that lawyer is there to win. This is why they have a lot of mediation now, especially in family law, because they understand the win-loss model for family mediation means somebody in the family loses, the family breaks.
That's right.
So now they're saying, no. Let's bring in mediation so we can get win-win. We don't want to break the family. So just understand, in a legal sense, especially...
Okay, let me put this because this is something very interesting. Okay, I'm excited.
I know, I'm going to give it to you.
Okay.
But in the legal sense, what happens is you have this, what I want here is my lawyer is going to make sure that I'm painted in a particular light. The lawyer is going to make sure that the victim is painted in a particular light. So what will happen in a rape case, they will say, how was the woman dressed?
Right, they blame it.
Did your dress incite his behavior? So, and a lot of women have been victims of this. So what I'm saying is, in terms of the legal aspect, especially in law is like the Bible. It can be interpreted many different ways. Law does not deal with truth. It deals with perception.
That's right.
This is why there's a rape gray area. Go deeper.
Okay, I got to say this, Ariel. Let me just make this statement. Rape is the only form of criminal assault that makes the victim the source in which the victim, basically the source of the crime. Would you, if it was a crime of law, let's say your house was broken into or a man is robbed at gunpoint out at his car. And, when you compare that to a woman being raped, if you're robbed of having a nice car, like, who was that? Somebody was robbed of their car recently, movie star. Do you actually put that person and put them on the trial and say, you know what, well, maybe it's because your rims were too shiny, or maybe because you had that expensive watch, maybe because you have, you have enough money to give, you give people money all the time, you know
Margo,
what I mean?
I get what you're saying.
So somebody stealing your money shouldn't be anything. Just because a woman has sex doesn't mean that if she gets raped that she's responsible in any way for that.
That's not the point I'm making.
I know,
I get what you're saying.
Yes.
But at the end of the day, what you're arguing against is the mainframe of law. Law is about winning and losing. Right? It doesn't give a damn about plaintiff and defendant. And defendants with money are paying to win. That's just the culture of law. Go ahead, Jeff.
Margo, you got to look at this like basketball.
Mm-hmm. Go deeper.
Because that's what law is like, okay? We got two teams. It is not Team A is here to win. Team B is here to win. It is not Team A's fault if Team B's forward don't know what he's supposed to be doing. And that is a sad thing. That is a sad that Team A does not care that Team B's point guard, his shot is off tonight. That's how we're going to win.
Right.
And until law is changed to the point that it is not about winning. I got to win. So at all costs, I'm going to talk about what this girl had on. That's wrong. I'm going to talk about her demeanor. That's wrong. That's right. There is no context where a woman should have to justify who, what, when, where, or how with regard to rape. The other side of that coin is that it's a lot of women that got dudes behind bars for lying about that
Exactly,
shit.
Jeff. Think about Duke lacrosse. First off, that woman who was a stripper blamed the lacrosse team. They raped me. She was brought into question almost immediately. You're a stripper.
Right, like as if she has, that's fucked up.
Your pussy beckons. That's stupid. You get paid for beckoning. So it's almost subtly saying, if that happened to you, you brought that on yourself.
And that's horrible, yeah.
But ultimately, that case ended in she lied. 323-965-1600. We'll be back in 2.2. I'll be back. Holla!
Woo! I don't see what you...
Ladies and gentlemen, So What Morning Show. This
If you'd
is
like
crazy.
to make a call.
Somebody hung up. It's all right.
Oh, man.
This show is off the chain. We're talking about who rapes the rapist, how someone who has suffered from sexual assault recovers and regains their power, because we know it's not just about sex. We have an august panel here. 6, Ratchet Relationship Guru. We have Kabibi Springs, right? LifeOnSprings.com. We got Dr. Mark Goulston, author of Just Listen and Real Influence. We've got world-renowned, famous McDonald's commercial McRib-eating comedian, Jeff Brown.
That's hilarious.
Right? And we also have relationship specialist, guru, television personality, radio personality, author, just all-around tall drink of mocha.
Lord.
She's Margot Hudson in the building with Zoe Williams. Let's go deeper into this topic. Is outright forgiveness, just unconditional forgiveness, is it even possible? Is it even possible? We got some people who, I put that question out on Facebook, and a lot of people are just like, man, nah, I can move on, but I ain't gonna never forgive that. And I want people to understand that forgiveness is not about freeing or validating the offender. It's more about a spiritual cleansing of the wound. It's like peroxide for the wound. That's what forgiveness is. And it allows to eat up all of the bacteria and all of that ugliness in it, and really expedite the healing process. Jeff Brown.
I think forgiveness is kind of like this. You're driving along and
One of Jeff's
somebody
analogies.
cuts you off,
right,
and runs your car into a ditch. If you stay with that car, it's not about, you're not leaving the car because you're saying that it's okay that the person ran your car off the road. You're leaving the car because, damn it, you got places to go.
Wow.
And you can't get there if you stuck at this damn car.
Well, we got there. We finally got there on your point. It was long. It was curvy.
I used up a lot of runway.
It was very good. Jay Nasty is on the line. You called back. Holler at me really quickly, brother.
Hey, what's going on, Zoe? Calling back again, man. To be honest with you, I really look up to you as a mentor.
Mm-hmm.
I really would like to speak to you off the air. I know you're a very busy person. But as far as the gray area, as far as being raped, me personally, I was raped when I was younger. And I was raped by a babysitter. And, where I was forced to actually have intercourse with her. Now, mind you, maybe a few weeks prior to the situation, there was the little wellness class or whatever have you, and they talked about AIDS and all that other shit, and that's what I said to her. Because, even though she was a very beautiful female in my eyes, but I thought at the time, like, well, you can get AIDS like this having unprotected sex. And she actually choked me and held me down. I'm in my bathroom floor.
Wow.
And actually forced herself on me. Now, I guess that's the reason why I came up with the whole name Jay Nasty, because now, I really don't too much give a shit about nothing. And also, even if you want to go deeper, because your shows say go deeper, my cousins, actually, female cousins, they've actually made me eat their pussy before.
Wow.
And I'm talking about just eating their pussy, holding me down, fucking me, you know what I'm saying? So it's like, what the fuck? What is life? What is this,
Mark Goulston, talk to this brother, please.
Hey there. We get back to this forgiving thing. You can't forgive as long as you need to blame. And if you ask yourself, well, why would I need to blame? It's kind of like what we're talking about when something really gets broken inside you or hurt. Blame is like a scab. And a lot of times people don't want to pick the scab because they don't know how deep the wound is. Sometimes people think it's not just a little wound, it's big. And so I think part of what we're talking about is, I guess what you have to ask yourself is holding on to this nasty side of you. Is it serving you well now?
Your highest good,
does it work for you in your happiness and success, peace of mind? If it is, then stay with it. But if it's not working for you, then, try and figure out a different way. But a lot of times we forgive as long as we need to blame, and we need to blame as long as there's something inside that just has not been opened up and healed and drained.
And Doc, this is what I need you to do. Hey, Jay Nasty, thanks for calling back.
Jay.
I appreciate it. Doc, you talked about the person that is unwilling to forgive being the person that is least, not likely, but shouldn't be in a relationship. The person who is ready to forgive is more relationship ready than the person who is unwilling to forgive. Go deeper.
Sometimes I give talks, and I say, if I could give all of you the single word that would give you peace of mind, maybe happiness, maybe even success, and you agreed with it, would you agree to embrace it? And so people say, oh yeah, he's going to talk about money. And I write on a piece of paper, forgiveness, and I pass it around the whole room, and people read it looking for riches, and they read it and they go, whoa. And they pass it to the next person. And then I asked them, I said, how many of you, when you heard the word forgiveness, thought you need to forgive someone or you need to ask forgiveness from someone? Because if you're someone who needs to forgive people, you're less relationship material than someone who needs to ask forgiveness.
Say it. See that? That's what I wanted to hear. 6, you're on.
Yeah, one thing I want to say too, I think I have a problem too with me being through a lot of abuse and stuff. I channel it to my sex life. I really do. I channel it to my sex life. I'm like a dominatrix. It's like I love to abuse men. I really, anything.
Do you love to abuse women too?
Women too. It don't matter.
You gonna kick some ass.
I'm gonna kick some ass
and get off.
Oh yeah, you gonna come, but you gonna get your ass whooped first.
I get off on it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Wow.
And it's to me it's a sick thing because I was like, how did I nut when I just got through beating your ass, but I'm nutting from it.
Wow.
Or,
imagine.
But it left me from being a fear thing now to a sexual turn on thing.
Imagine the conflict. I hear you, Doc. I'm gonna give it to you right now. Imagine the conflict for the victim who actually has an orgasm through this, through sexual assault. It has to be a confusing and conflicting space. Dr. Mark Goulston.
6. Remember this. As long as you're focused on getting even, you will never get ahead.
Wow.
And you know what? I think a lot of it is that, like you said, because you cannot forgive. It's hard to forgive. And then forget. You might forgive. Let it go. But, it's hard. Right. I ain't going to say I'm going to forgive because I've been abused, and I ain't forgave a lot of motherfuckers. I ain't going to forgive them today.
Wow.
And I do have a problem taking it out on other relationship, and I need help in that department.
Wow.
Because
we
it's
appreciate
not right.
We appreciate the honesty.
That's
Listen,
expensive.
I gotta go to
expensive.
Herbie. Herbie is over here right
Big
now.
Herb.
Herb.
Shout out, baby mom. No.
Hysterical. Come on, Herb.
Thank you, cuz. Appreciate it. Just want to interject real quick about forgiveness. First of all, forgiveness starts with taking responsibility for oneself. When I say this, it means that I know Margot was pretty heated a little earlier ago about women in the court system. But one of the things that we have to look at is dress is an issue in this country. When you are dressing half naked, you are, at the law of attraction, you are attracting a lot of sexual energy to yourself as well. So,
You telling me a woman who's dressed like Lil' Kim is calling a rapist into her space?
She's calling all kinds of sexual energy into her space.
Because sex energy is spirit energy, right?
It's the law of attraction. It's like you're attracting that what you're putting out. Sometimes you're going to attract some good people. You're going to attract some bad people. You're going to attract some crazy people. So, we have to, that's why I say forgiveness starts with taking responsibility. Looking at, okay, well, am I wearing a skirt that's too short? Am I exposing too much? We have to be conscious. We can't just walk around and think and do things and think that they're not going to be.
So you're saying if you have a consciousness that devalues your physical appearance in terms of revealing more that will magnetize a person who also devalues you.
Yes, you're going to attract good and bad. It rains on both the good and bad. So when you put out that kind of energy, yes, you're going to attract some people that don't have those type of intentions, but you're also going to attract everybody else as well.
Okay, Margot, really quickly, 30 seconds.
Okay, I agree with what you're saying, Herbie, to an extent. But the point is that we can't just because a woman wears a short skirt does not give an invitation for that. And actually, that woman is half dressed. You're talking about sex. This is not a sexual act. This is a violent crime. This is not a sexual act. This is about power. And this also been proven. This has also been in the that this has been improved in studies that men, a lot of rapists that have been interviewed in prison, they said that it didn't have anything to do with they didn't look at women based on any other reason. It was just the opportunity. It was about the opportunity. And this is something for people who want to heal. Forgiveness. This is something that was taught to me by Dr. B. You can say this every day. I forgive myself, others, and my family for their imperfections. And if you say this over and over again, you will start to heal the pain because it's a programming that you start to put inside your own subconscious.
Jeff Brown, 30 seconds.
Okay, I'm going to have to piggyback on what Herbie said. Okay, off the rape subject for a second. Those of you who feel like it's okay to wear whatever the hell you want to wear, then you're going to attract whatever the hell you attract, and it is possible to provoke what it is you do not deserve.
Wow. That's heavy. That's heavy. I like that. That's heavy. We got a caller. I'm going to let you go. 30 seconds, caller. Talib, get at me.
That was some bullshit.com earlier about the dressing, but because you can't restrict.
I thought that was Talib.
You are as a person.
Okay. All right.
For me.
That's Darian. Darian, I'm sorry. We have to reintroduce you. That's Darian. What were you saying, Darian? Make it 30 seconds or less, please.
I was saying that was some BS.com that was said earlier about wearing what you wear, because I was attacked and I had on sweatpants and a sweatshirt. So.
Right.
But,
Power.
You got to be strong. You got to be strong at the end of the day. When you look yourself in the mirror, which is what I did, I had to say to myself that I'm available for the best possibilities and more good that I have ever experienced and expressed and imagined and manifested. So
wow.
I had to keep saying that to myself over and over again.
Well, Darian,
I am good and available for more than ever, any experience that I've ever experienced in my life.
All right.
I'm waiting on it.
Thank you, Darian. We appreciate you calling. We appreciate it. We got to wrap. We got to wrap. Listen, I'm going to end it on this. I always say this. Forgiveness is not a loan. It's not something you can barter. I will forgive you contingent upon you changing. That does not work. Forgiveness is not about the person you're forgiving. It's about you. Most people think that you can heal from a situation by increasing the distance between you and the traumatic moment. Well, you can't. You carry it with you unless you go through the spiritual evolutionary practice of forgiveness. Forgiveness is related to love. Most people don't experience love because they put it through a filter of conditions, beliefs, religion, culture, finance. So you don't you're experiencing diet love. Most people are dealing with diet forgiveness.
Love with saccharin in it.
Right? They're dealing with diet forgiveness. So all I'm saying is it ain't for the person who hurt you. It's for you. And until you understand that, you're going to relive the trauma that you're trying to escape via whatever maintenance program you have in place. That's all it is. Now, let me do this really quickly. Around the table, everybody, website or Twitter, and let it go. Where's your website?
All right, beautycomeforth.com. You can read my articles. I'm the relationship article, the relationship editor there. You can also go at Destin Love Life on Twitter and Destination Love Life on YouTube. My commercial.
There's your commercial. Thank you, Jeff Brown.
At GB Funny Style.
See how quick that was?
Twitter and Facebook.
Jeff Brown, Mark Goldston.
GetRealInfluence.com to find out more about the book, and Heartfelt Leadership for People Who Dare to Care in a World That Tells You You're Stupid If You Do.
Kabibi Springs.
At Life on Springs is my Twitter handle, and lifeonsprings.com for quality of life coaching.
There it is. 6.
How to Find a Man in Your Dreams, sponsors Raw Talk with Six. So How to Get the Man in Your Dream.com sponsors my show, Raw Talk with Six. And
there
I keep
it is.
Raw.
She keeps it raw. You know, I threw up on her pussy. Hey, it was nasty. It was sour. You know, we gonna remember that forever. Oh my God. Again, this is how you stay in contact with Zoe Williams. Text ZO to 90210. Text ZO to 90210. I need you to join my community. You're going to see all types of discussions. The Relationship Roundtable, March 16th, Santa Monica. Yo, I'll see you guys then. See you next week. Deuces.